my family. It is Monday night, and I have a little trick up my sleeve, I guess. If it's one of those things you don't know what to have for supper, you really don't feel like cooking, you got miscellaneous things in your refrigerator, like, well, we got some carrots and we got some spinach, and well, we got bits and pieces here and there. We've got some Italian meatballs. What are we gonna do with this? I'll show you. Welcome, my family. My name is Carrie. This is a Mediterranean homestead, and if you like our channel, hit that subscribe button and hit that like button. Leave a comment if you like to. Tonight I'm going to show you what to do with some bits and pieces of things you may have in your refrigerator from leftovers. I even have some leftover couscous, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with making supper tonight. Super simple, and it is something that is Mediterranean style, and it's really, really good. This would be absolutely perfect when it comes to the winter. Now, what I'm going to do with those carrots, that spinach, these little bit of meatballs, some chicken broth. This is about 1.5 cups to 2 cups of homemade chicken broth. If you didn't have that, you can use chicken cubes or broth of store-bought or even granules. Any chicken broth will work for this. What we're going to make is Italian wedding soup and couscous with spinach and Parmesan cheese. So let's get in the kitchen and let's get cooking. Okay, y'all, so we're first going to start with our chicken broth, and I'm going to open this because pretty much this is going to be a super fast, easy meal. Not a lot of effort, especially if you're coming home from work, you're exhausted, or you just don't feel like cooking anything. This would be one of those days without having to go out, spend your money, or eat unhealthy foods. You can just throw something together. So we're going to put our chicken broth on, and we're going to go ahead and add our carrots that we cut into bits because we want this to cook down a little bit to become tender. So we're going to go ahead and do this. Now, about halfway through, when our carrots are just about ready, we're going to add our meatballs, which this is Italian meatballs. Basically, though, Italian wedding soup is made with chicken meatballs. I am using what I have in the fridge to create a healthy meal. It's Greek, and this is something that sounded really good to me. So, and instead of adding orzo, which you can add orzo to this, which is a rice grain like pasta, I'll show it to you. I am actually going to, on the side, have some couscous instead. So in a separate pot, we're going to do our couscous instead of adding our orzo in here. Now I'll be back and I'll show you what orzo looks like. Okay, y'all, so here is our orzo, and if you can see that, it kind of looks like grains of rice. However, this is actually a pasta. Now, I will be able to very soon, actually, within the next couple days, my durum wheat berries will be in, and when they come in, I am actually going to show you how to make your own orzo from semolina flour. Now, mine will be fresh milled, but you can order semolina online at Amazon if you wanted to start making your own pasta or double O, any of those. But I'm going to show you how to make your own orzo, along with showing you how to, if you wanted to go through the process of it, which I do, to make my own couscous, because the only couscous I can find at my store is the pearl, and I cannot find this fine. but I know how to make it, so I am going to be making my own. I can make a big batch of this, and I can actually freeze it and use it for meals whenever I need it. So I will be showing you all some new techniques in a Mediterranean way, how to make homemade products that you would never think can be possible. So, and I'm looking forward to those lessons for you, because basically, even though orzo is 98 cents a box, this is processed. It's been stripped, and what I'm doing isn't. But still, regardless, there's just nothing better than the fresh taste of homemade. So I'm going to show you how to do it, if anything else, just for the fun of it. But for me, theirs serves a great purpose, so I'm going to be making my own homemade. Like I said, I like this fine grade, and I struggle finding this. So I'm going to let this cook for a bit and get my carrots slightly tender before I add my meatballs to it. Okay, y'all, so this has been cooking for a bit. Now I'm just going to go ahead and add my meatballs in here and let these get cooking. These came straight from the refrigerator and right into the pot. Okay, y'all, so honestly, Italian wedding soup is a very simple, almost like a chicken and meatball soup. It's your basic, your carrots, your onions, if you choose to do that. Now, I didn't put any onions in here yet, but I will. And I have my pieces of carrots. The meatballs that go into it is, like I said, usually chicken meatballs. However, I used Italian meatballs, and you basically, Italian sausage, that is. You can use anything in here. Now, if you don't have spinach, you can very easily use kale as well. I have used both, but today I'm going to be adding some baby spinach in here, and we're going to cook this down. I know I'm going to have spinach in 2 of my dishes, but you know what? Spinach is good, and I got to use this up. So it gives me a reason to use them up. I need to get some fresh anyway, so this is what I do. I'm using what I have in the fridge, and if you ain't noticed, I'm teaching or showing you what to do with those remaining things when you just don't know what you want or what to do with it. I'm giving you some ideas, really quick, simple. There's really no effort in making this soup, y'all. None. And then when it's done, we just serve it in a bowl and top it with some Parmesan cheese. And like I said, at this point, now you would add orzo if you wanted to. It'd take about 20 minutes for that pasta to cook, and this would be ready to go. But I am not using orzo this time because I'm going to have a side of couscous with my leftovers. I don't want to waste anything. So I'm accommodating and yet keeping with the Mediterranean style. So finish this off now. My carrots are just about done. This soup honestly is about finished. In the description, I will just basically give you the ingredients. It's as simple as that. Giving you the ingredients allows you to have the accessibility to make as much as you want for your family, for yourself. If you don't have a lot of people, if it's just you, the ingredients will allow you. It's not a recipe that has to be that technical. So, and the same with the couscous, and I'll show that to you too. So I'm gonna let my soup cook. It's almost done, and then we're gonna go to the couscous next. Okay, y'all, so this was a garlic and herb based couscous that was from basically a pre-packaged box from Aldi's, but I'm going to dress this up a little bit. This is some leftovers, so I told you I'm using up some of the stuff in my fridge. I'm about to finish off the rest of that spinach, and I have a little chunk of Parmesan, some leftover couscous. What in the world can we make with that? Well, let me show you. Alright, y'all, first we're going to deal with this little block of Parmesan. So I know I need it for my soup, and I'm going to use it for this couscous. So I'm going to actually grate some of this up. Actually, I'm going to grate all of it up. I'm going to stick it in this container. If there's anything left out of it, well, I can just stick this back in the fridge and yet use it for something else. So Right now, I'm using up everything that I have left over so I can start fresh. And basically, today is Monday, trying to go through some of my leftovers and show you what in the world we can do with them the Mediterranean way. I started doing this, and I have not done a video on this yet, and I thought that would be super cool to show you what can I do with my leftovers. So I'm going to show you today. Plus, I'm in one of those things, I really didn't feel like cooking an extravagant meal, so I decided to go ahead and do a, yeah, that sounded good, leftover Mediterranean supper. So, and I am so ready for fall. We are fixing to get slammed once again starting tomorrow with just the temps alone of 100 degrees. I am not looking forward to the heat index. They're supposedly, this is the last week for it, and for our sake I certainly hope so, because we have been in a drought since June, and I am actually over this by now. Alright y'all, so now I have grated up that small block of Parmesan cheese. Now I'm going to bring you over to the stove and show you what I'm going to do with this couscous. Okay, so I have some homemade ghee here, and I am just going to put a little bit of that in here just to add a touch of some moisture, oil-based, healthy way. I could even use olive oil actually, and I probably am going to add a touch of that in here as well. And we're going to add our couscous to it, because we're going to moisten up our couscous. Leftovers or not, it still could use it. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to bring this down to cooking a little bit here. Now I'm going to go ahead and start adding this in it and stirring this couscous in with that ghee and olive oil. Like I said, as you see, it was just a little container of it, so this is perfect, and I choose my battles wisely. Instead of adding a new thing of orzo to my soup, I just decided to add and use the couscous that I had instead. It's still a pasta form. It's a smaller version of it, but still yet, I didn't want to mix two pastas in one, and this gave me an opportunity to use a really good couscous. So there's no waste. Okay, so we're going to mix this up really good. Now what I'm going to do in here now is pop some of the spinach in here, and it's just going to get mixed in here and heated up until it wilts. Again, this is another one of those recipes, y'all. There's no recipe. I will put in the ingredients in there. Make it your own. Make it the amount you want. I have these stems. I'm pulling these stems off, y'all. I thought I had them all, but I guess not. It's baby spinach, so it's not going to hurt it. But let me go ahead and mix this up in here. And the couscous is already pretty much seasoned. I could add a little bit of salt to this if I wanted to. So I'm just going to mix this up. Now I'm going to put a lid on it, let this sit for a minute, let this spinach wilt, and once it wilts, we'll be right back. Okay, y'all, so this is one of those leftovers you don't want to walk away from it too much, because it will stick to the bottom. Mine slightly did. I know how to get it, though. I didn't get it all the way, so I turned the heat off. Now I'm going to top this with my Parmesan cheese. At this point, I wish I had pine nuts. They're on the way, but I don't have any, or I'd be adding some of that to this too. But spinach and Parmesan is going to be just as good. So I'm just going to mix this together, and my couscous is ready to go with my soup tonight. I'm going to pull this aside. We're going to plate this up, and I'll show you our leftover Mediterranean meal that we made with all the bits and pieces from our refrigerator. So we'll be right back. I had to show this to y'all. This is, to me, a beautiful, lovely meal. So here's our Italian wedding soup. Now what we're going to do from here is just sprinkle some Parmesan on top, and mwah, there's that absolutely amazing, beautiful soup. Great for the winter time. It'll help keep you warm. Although, yeah, I'm crazy, but I like soup any time of the year, y'all. And then over here we have our spinach and Parmesan couscous. This is an amazing meal just by remnants in my refrigerator, y'all. It's easy to create Mediterranean food and to have goodness even if it's leftovers. Now, ordinarily, I would not, oh, that glare in that light. Sorry, y'all. Ordinarily, I would not actually make meals with my leftovers, but I wanted to be able to show you that we all live in a world that we just can't have always the finest. And you know, there's nothing wrong with leftovers. Sometimes we just don't know what to do with the remnants here and there. So this is a reason why I decided it's almost like having some of these shows where you go and have this basket and all these items are thrown in that basket and you think, now what can I do with this? So this is what was like that in my refrigerator. My refrigerator was my great big basket, and I had remnants of this and remnants of that. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to take this basket and we're going to go online and we're going to create a leftover meal tonight, Mediterranean way, healthy, wholesome, and just comfort. That's exactly what we did. So like I said, I will put just for those, I mean, this is my leftovers, but if you want a recipe on how to do this, I will try to go ahead and give you an authentic recipe as well, especially for the chicken meatballs for the Italian wedding soup. And then honestly, the couscous, I'm just going to turn around and give you the ingredients for that one, because you can get, Aldi's has these pre-made boxes or so of couscous, or you can just, if you're lucky enough to have it without any mixes, mix up some couscous, add a little bit of butter or olive oil or both, some baby spinach and some Parmesan cheese, and you got a meal right there. So I hope you all enjoyed this. I'm fixing to go home in my comfort, kick back for a while, and I'm going to relax. So until next time, much love to each and every one of you from Parton's Heritage Homestead.